A reading from the Gospel according to St. John. Early on the first day of the week, while it was still dark, Mary Magdalene came to the tomb and saw that the stone had been removed from the tomb. So she ran and went to Simon Peter and the other disciple, the one whom Jesus loved, and said to them, "They have taken the Lord out of the tomb, and we do not know where they have laid him." Then Peter and the other disciple set out and went toward the tomb. The two were running together, but the other disciple outran Peter and reached the tomb first. He bent down to look in and saw the linen wrappings lying there, but he did not go in. Then Simon Peter came, following him, and went into the tomb. He saw the linen wrappings lying there, and the cloth that had been on Jesus' head, not lying with the linen wrappings, but rolled up in a place by itself. Then the other disciple, who reached the tomb first, also went in, and he saw and believed. For as yet they did not understand the scripture, that he must rise from the dead. Then the disciples returned to their homes. But Mary stood weeping outside the tomb. As she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb, and she saw two angels in white, sitting where the body of Jesus had been lying, one at the head and the other at the feet. They said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping?" She said to them, "They have taken away my Lord, and I do not know where they have laid him." When she had said this, she turned around and saw Jesus standing there, but she did not know that it was Jesus. Jesus said to her, "Woman, why are you weeping? Whom are you looking for?" Supposing him to be the gardener, she said to him, "Sir, if you have carried him away, tell me where you have laid him, and I will take him away." Jesus said to her, "Mary." She turned and said to him in Hebrew, "Rabboni," which means teacher. Jesus said to her, "Do not hold on to me, because I have not yet ascended to the Father. But go to my brothers and say to them, I am ascending to my Father and your Father, to my God and your God." Mary Magdalene went and announced to the disciples, "I have seen the Lord." And she told them that he had said these things to her. The Gospel of the Lord. I'm sure and I hope that this passage is familiar to you. I find that no matter how many times I encounter Scripture, there's always something different that stands out to me. During my more recent encounter with Mary Magdalene's story of finding the empty tomb, I was struck by verses 11 through 13, which read, "Mary stood weeping outside the tomb. As she wept, she bent over to look into the tomb, and she saw two angels in white, sitting where the body of Jesus had been lying, one at the head and the other at the feet. They said to her, 'Woman, why are you weeping?' She said to them, 'They have taken away my Lord, and I do not know where they have laid him.'" We know the Jesus story. We know that in the next verse, Jesus appears to her. We know that in the next chapter, Jesus appears to the disciples. We know that eventually Jesus ascends to heaven. But what if we didn't know this? Could we put ourselves in Mary Magdalene's shoes for just a moment? She has not only experienced the loss of her friend and teacher, but she's also witnessed his brutal death. She watched helplessly as her friend suffered unimaginable pain. And so we find Mary Magdalene in today's gospel weeping outside of an empty tomb. I wonder, how many times have we encountered this same feeling of grief, fear, desolation, confusion, defeat. Sometimes, while being and staying Catholic, we look for Jesus, hoping for consolation and peace, yet we find ourselves in verses 11 through 13, staring into an empty tomb, wondering where we go from here, wondering how we can possibly go on. But remember what I said earlier? We know this story. Jesus always appears. Personally, I've always hoped for an encounter like Mary Magdalene's, where Jesus appears right in front of me, calls me by name, and commissions me to spread the good news. But he has done that, hasn't he? He has called each one of us by name, and through our baptism, we too are commissioned to tell his story and live according to his example. Like Mary Magdalene, we too have seen the Lord. In our family members, in our teachers, in our friends, in the person who holds the door for us when it's raining, in the child who smiles from the grocery store cart. We see the Lord in the people who spread the gospel in deed and in word, who fight for justice and live a life of compassion. We see the Lord in so many women who heed Mary Magdalene's invitation to be missionary disciples, women who stay when it feels easier to run, women who believe in the call to synodality and a church that can be more. Today, as we celebrate Mary Magdalene's witness, may we remember her very real encounter with the risen Lord. May we understand her invitation and her response to Jesus' call. May we listen to the whispers of our own hearts so that we too may hear and respond to our same call. I pray that the Spirit may continue to illuminate the gifts of women in our church, and I find consolation in knowing what comes after the empty tomb.